Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
The new provincial budget means you'll likely be opening your wallet more often.
We're looking after the most vulnerable and low-income families, which is very important to me. Those that can afford to pay, we're asking to pay a little bit more.
The city gives an update on the girders of the 102nd Avenue Bridge over Grote Road.
It's like a snail moving, but in the science, it's like to see positive movement within the first half day is very positive.
Voter apathy is a problem among youth.
I think politicians just assume that young people aren't going to vote. And so that's the reason they don't tend to even try to reach out to them at all.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. Albertans are paying more for healthcare, gas, alcohol, and cigarettes with the province's new budget. The Alberta government is implementing a number of measures in an attempt to decrease the provincial deficit.
Thousands of Albertans have been laid off and more are expected to lose their jobs, and taxpayers found out they are being asked to pay more out of their pocket. Our Michaela Henschel has more on that story.
Many Albertans were adamant that they did not want to see a provincial sales tax, resulting in the government looking at other methods to try and fill that $7 billion hole, making this one of the most difficult budgets to produce.
The drop in oil prices we have seen caused a severe drop in revenue for Alberta, and this has forced us to take a hard look at our operations.
Minister of Finance Robin Campbell announced the highly anticipated 2015 budget on Thursday. The results were not as speculated. The province introduced a series of tax hikes which took effect hours after the reveal. Albertans are now paying 4 cents more for gas, bringing the total to 13 cents a litre, which is still the lowest in the country.
Charging someone, 4 cents more a litre on gas, that's really hurting the people that can't afford it most, I think.
Other taxes introduced include the rise in sin taxes. The government has raised premiums, fees, and fines, costing Albertans more for traffic violations, camping, and parks. Fees for marriage, death, and birth certificates also rose. The Progressive Conservatives are optimistic that these changes will eventually help pull Alberta out of the red. However, other parties see the new healthcare levy as a hindrance on already struggling families.
This is, as expected, a pay more to get much less kind of budget.
Some students are also expressing their concern over a relatively flat projection for post-secondary.
And while there's no imminent changes, I think that's going to mean higher tuition increases for students in the future.
Now that the 2015 budget has been rolled out, the question now is, when will an election be called?
Michaela, we've heard funding for post-secondary is staying relatively flat. Is it the same for education in the province?
Well, the government stated no teachers will be losing their jobs, but again, no teachers will be hired. Other people in the industry could be losing their jobs. Alberta is projecting 12,000 new students next year, and with no new teachers, this could mean bigger class sizes.
Now, what does the new alcohol tax mean for consumers at the store?
Well, the increase is about 10%, and although this may seem like a lot, this is actually at a distribution level. So we're going to be paying about 16 cents more for a bottle of wine, and we're going to save about 90 cents for a case of beer.
Thanks, Michaela. That's Michaela Henschel reporting live from our news center tonight.
NAIT NewsWatch.
Bill 22, the Skin Cancer Prevention Act, has been introduced at the legislature. Research shows youth exposed to artificial tanning are more prone to developing melanoma compared to older people.
Statistics show using tanning equipment just once before the age of 35 increases the risk of getting a melanoma by up to 59%.
This new bill will restrict youth under the age of 18 from using artificial tanning.
As a parent of 3 daughters, I'm thrilled to have support from the government to help get the right information, to help parents know to talk to their kids, and to help make it harder for children to go into these facilities and put themselves at great risk for very serious cancers.
To learn more about the effects of artificial tanning, visit bigburn.ca.
An organization is hoping to increase voter turnout among youth. President of Apathy is Boring, Ilona Duretti, joined U of A students to discuss the reasons behind why young people between 18 and 25 aren't voting.
Well, they're voting less and less, and the likelihood is that means that in 20 or 30 years, the same amount of 18-year-olds who are voting today will be voting in 20 or 30 years.
Research by Apathy is Boring suggests that young people don't need convincing that voting is a good thing and that most youth believe in democracy, but they are skeptical about what politicians will pay attention to them. 60% of youth will believe that government doesn't care about what they think.
It's a lot easier to kind of just ignore the people who don't vote and focus on the ones who you know already will vote. So it's really important for us, when Apathy is Boring does the work we do, to encourage people to reach out to youth to say that if you engage a young voter now, you're engaging them for life.
Visit apathyisboring.com for more information. NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news. A Wetaskiwin man is in custody and facing 60 charges in connection to a string of armed robberies across northern and central Alberta. The arrest comes after 14 armed robberies at several financial institutions, 8 of which occurred in Edmonton.
This investigation involved excellent collaboration of law enforcement agencies in multiple jurisdictions. It emphasizes how intelligence sharing is increasingly playing a role in taking violent criminals such as this individual off the streets and out of our communities.
Police arrested Christopher Allen Zubko outside a bank in Camrose. Additional charges are pending.
Almost 80% of robberies have video evidence available, but maintenance of these cameras is key for fighting crime. Video surveillance is everywhere we look and has become a vital part of law enforcement in the last few years. The only thing is, the video quality is crucial.
It's frustration on the part of a lot of police officers. We're going out to crimes, we're asking for video surveillance to try to identify criminals, and we're getting poor quality.
The Edmonton Police Service is reminding businesses and homeowners to clean and check the focus of their security cameras. As shown by a police reenactment, key details can be lost when trying to identify suspects. For more information, visit edmontonpolice.ca.
The city says there is some movement of the bent steel girders on the 102nd Avenue Bridge over Grote Road. A 1,200-ton super crane has been placed on the south side of the bridge, bearing all the weight of the 2 girders that are
The girders
affected.
are buckled or moved inward. We're looking to get them vertical again, so that's our 100% goal, doing it safely. We've known since the beginning this is a very, very slow process. We knew that, and it's happening the way that we predicted it at this time from an engineering perspective.
The city says the girders are moving in the millimeter range, but it is a positive sign at the time. If new girders would have to be put in, they would take about 6 months to build, pushing the project back almost a year.
The first of 3 public artworks for Rogers Place has been unveiled.
I'm really honored to thank the city that claimed me to be their artist.
Internationally acclaimed artist Alex Janvier has been commissioned to create a floor mosaic for Edmonton's new downtown arena. It's the first of 3 public artworks to be announced for Rogers Place.
This artwork not only captures the beauty of our landscape, but also honors our place in the heart of Treaty 6 territory and celebrates the rich history we share with our Aboriginal people.
The finished mosaic will be displayed on the floor of the planned winter garden.
Earth Hour Capital of Canada of 2014 will see many shutting off all non-essential lights at 8:30 tonight. The Worldwide Fund for Nature first conceived the idea of an Earth Hour in 2004 in Australia after San Francisco held its own program in October of 2008. The Earth Hour idea gained international attention in March 2008. Last year, Edmonton was voted Canada's Earth Hour capital after Oliver Arena, Michael Cameron Arena, and the Donnan Arena put forth reductions of 95% and higher. At 9:30 tonight, most non-essential lights will come back on.
The Edmonton Valley Zoo has received a new resident all the way from Japan. Rena, a 2-year-old female, is the newest member of the Red Panda family, brought in to join Pip and Calden as part of the species survival plan at the zoo.
We're helping to conserve the greatest genetic diversity for red pandas, and the program is not just for red pandas, but for all types of animals that are critically endangered.
There are fewer than 10,000 red pandas in the wild and about 50 in North America, 3 of which are at the Valley Zoo. Rena is getting along very well with the other pandas, and the zoo is hoping for babies from her in the summer. Coming up after the break, we take a look at anonymous campus Facebook posts.
Even though the things posted on these pages are done so anonymously, you shouldn't post explicit things.
You know, the same kind of thing that you post online that might be wrongful in conduct would apply in reality too.
I'm Nicole Stilger. Coming up in sports, I've got ACAC Hockey Championship highlights. The top football prospects were in Edmonton for the regional combine. And for my end zone challenge, I hit the sheet and throw a couple of rocks with Nate's curling team.
Hi, I'm Reed Walker. It seems that March is going to be ending on a bit of a warmer note, but have we seen the last of the snow? I'll have more details after the break.
Well, spring is finally here, and I really hope that this mild weather lasts throughout April.
Yeah, I hope we don't have a third winter again. Reed, tell us for some good news in sight.
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, we might be seeing some more snow, maybe this Tuesday or Wednesday, but if not then, we should be safe until Saturday or Sunday. We might be getting some more snow. But you know what, let's not focus on the negatives, let's focus on the high positive temperatures we're getting. And in Calgary, they're going to start with a low of 0, and they're going to warm up throughout the day to a high of 17 with a 0% chance of rain. Pretty good day for them down in Calgary. Now on to Jasper, it's a low of 2, and a high of 14. So any of you late season spring skiers probably want to get a hurry before all the snow melts. Now on to Fort McMurray, it's a little bit colder, starting off with a low of -2, but they're warming up throughout the day to a high of 10. But with those temperatures come a 60 to 70% chance of rain, but I think they'd prefer rain over snow most days. So now to our own backyard weather, we're seeing a high of 14 and a low of 3 and a 0% chance of rain. But we're looking above our averages for this time of year. Our averages being -3 and high of 6. And thankfully we are nowhere near our record low of -21 set in 1889. But we got pretty close to the high of 17 that was set in 1930. But anyways, March is going to end on a bit of a higher or warmer weather note. I'm Reed, and this has been your look at weather.
NewsWatch Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
Questions are arising about social media pages at universities due to a number of controversies that involve inappropriate content.
The controversial content can appear in the form of pictures or text, and it can sometimes be defamatory. Ben Matichuk has more.
I'm like tilting my head.
Social media pages at and for universities have been around for a long time, and controversy surrounding those pages has existed for roughly the same period of time. Students who are posting sometimes do so with no filter, taking full advantage of the apparent anonymity.
Here at NAIT, we have a social media policy and guideline that we educate students and staff about. We try to be proactive with letting students and staff know that what they post on social media, they can be held liable for.
You should always think twice about your activities online. Just because you think what you're posting is private, that doesn't mean it is. It can easily be made public with the click of a mouse.
Pages such as NAIT Confessions contain anonymous posts where students criticize or complain about classmates, express frustration about something going on at school, or even use the page just to say sexually explicit things.
You know, even if it's private or you think it's private, anyone can take a screenshot, anyone can share or send to whoever.
Though the content on NAIT Confessions is not in any way illegal, as the content has been at other schools, Huang advises all students to always exercise good judgment when using social media. Ben Matichuk, NAIT NewsWatch.
And now Nicole Stilger joins us with sports.
I heard some CFL prospects were in town this week, is that right?
Yeah, the regional combine was in Edmonton on Monday, but first we'll look at some ACAC Men's Hockey Championship highlights. No shortage of excitement last weekend as NAIT swept SAIT in a best-of-3 series, clinching the ACAC championship. They're second in the last 3 years. Jordan Wood opens up the scoring in the first period, burying the pass from John Dunbar, and it's 1-0 Ooks. 26 seconds into the second period, Josh Lazowski with the attempt, but Austin Smith makes the pad save. Lazowski recovers and feeds it to Mike Peluso, who goes top shelf to put the Ooks up 2-0. But the Trojans get one back as Michael Young nets the rebound to make it a 2-1 game. On to the third. Apparently the Trojans' penalty box is the most popular spot in Western Canada, but Ooks on the power play. Charles Wells fires one in, and Jordan Wood is there to seal the deal and get his second of the game. Ooks are up 3-1. The Trojans are relentless though, as Brendan Forbes sneaks the biscuit by Kenny Cameron to make it a 3-2 game. And with 9 minutes left in the third, Ryan Matthews ties it up, and it looks like this one is headed for overtime. Trojans' penalty for too many men on the ice give the Ooks a power play. Dunbar with the shot, but it's kicked away by Smith. Peluso is there on the rebound and scores the game winner and his second of the night. Ooks win it 4-3 in overtime and go on to win 6-2 Saturday night at SAIT. Peluso shares his thoughts on the night.
Happy for the win. You know, kudos to SAIT. They came back and gave us a good game. We expected that, and I'm just happy we pulled out through. And credit to the boys too. We battle hard our game, and we deserve that.
Football prospects in Canada participated in the Edmonton Regional Combine in hopes of impressing scouts, coaches, and GMs from every CFL team. Hopefuls showcased their abilities in a variety of drills and strength tests like the 40-yard dash, short shuttle, and a 225-pound bench press. While skills on the field are the main focus, the Combine gives recruiters insight into the types of athletes these guys are.
They're going to get judged too harshly if they slip in a drill or they're not able to jump 40 inches in a vertical. We will take a look at what he does on film. That's a true test of a player's ability.
The best performers from Monday will move on to the National Combine, where the chances of being drafted increase. Canada Soccer and Umbro Canada unveiled the new kit that the national teams will sport during the FIFA Women's World Cup and the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Desiree Scott, Emily Zur, and Julian de Guzman left the pitch behind to model the jerseys at Sport Check in West Ed last Friday.
I think the material is great for us. It's very light, and that's going to be good for summer. And simple and classic is kind of what we're all about as Canadians, and I think it really works for us.
Fans will be able to purchase their own official Team Canada jerseys starting early April. If waiting another 3 months for the FIFA Women's World Cup seems too long, there's another tournament in Edmonton that might just be able to curb your soccer craving.
Next we have Germany.
The opening ceremonies for the Mini World Cup and Heritage Cup kicked off on Tuesday at the South Soccer Centre. This is the biggest Mini World Cup to date, with a record 40 countries being represented by 78 teams in the women's, men's, classics, masters, and legends categories, making for some fierce competition.
All the matches are going to be quite competitive. Everyone's going to be ready to give their full effort, and once we get to the finals, it'll be a very spirited game.
The tournament runs from March 24th until April 8th at various soccer centers around the city. Go to edsa.org for the full schedule. Have you ever really wanted to try something but just never got a chance? That's what it's been like with me and curling. So this week's End Zone Challenge was a no-brainer. And who better to help me learn than one of NAIT's own provincial champs?
Just kind of get the feel for your slider.
Holy Bambi legs over here.
So you can lean on them. They're not going to go anywhere. There you go.
Look, Ma, I'm doing it.
So there's two different turns in curling. There's the in turn and the out turn.
Technique first, then time to throw some rocks.
Nice. Perfect.
After learning how to push out of the hack, it was time to get down to business. Check out that throw.
Oh, I didn't need to sweep it that hard. Good throw.
So close.
This has takeout weight.
Boom.
That's good. Nice shot.
Now I wanted to try sweeping.
So right, like left together, we're right together.
But then this kept happening.
Woo! No.
Try again.
Back to throwing rocks. I was actually starting to really improve. Not bad if I do say so myself.
Nice shot. Right on the button. Nice work.
Corinne, thanks for showing me how to curl.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, you guys have made it to nationals. So
Yes.
I'll be standing by as on your reserve, obviously.
Yeah, of course. We'll call you up.
Sounds good.
Okay guys, I'm just gonna take a quick second to defend myself here. Sweeping is really hard.
Yeah, they definitely make it look a lot easier than it actually is.
I've only done it once and I was sliding all over the place, so I'm not going to knock you for that.
Thanks guys.
Coming up after the break, Dane and I volunteer at the Edmonton Valley Zoo.
We put on some rubber boots and did a little dirty work.
We have over 500 active volunteers here, and they help out in a whole variety of roles. We have a brand new volunteer education ambassador program.
Actually, coming up on entertainment this week, we take a look at Sondheim on Sondheim, a dream play, and Arcadia, 3 plays that are new to Edmonton. We also take a look at a little old lady who got quite the surprise while shopping at Walmart.
Outerwear provided by Elite Sports and Innotech Inspection Solutions.
Hair services by Rock Salon and Spa.
Many may not know that the Edmonton Valley Zoo has over 500 active volunteers.
We put on our boots and ventured out into the mud to see what it takes to be part of the Edmonton Valley Zoo volunteer program. It may not be the most glamorous of work, but the Edmonton Valley Zoo relies on its volunteers to keep things running smoothly and to help minimize the workload on its employees.
And they, of course, help with our animal care. So making sure the enclosures are clean and helping to feed the animals. And making sure that all of the little tiny things that the zookeepers have very little time to do are taken care of.
If you're interested in volunteering, you can visit edmonton.ca/volunteer for more information.
Edmonton has 3 plays going on within the city, and our Taylor Petty got a sneak peek.
Not only that, but she also found a viral video for us to check out.
So Sondheim on Sondheim is a musical that puts the dirt on the stage, but in a compelling way that we can all understand. The play features 24 new arrangements of Sondheim's personal life and artistic process, bringing together some of his best work.
As well. It's difficult, challenging music, but once you know it, it is accessible and it rolls off of you. So it's just an honor to be a part of this kind of production.
My name is Stephen Joshua Sondheim.
The musical numbers are accompanied by interview footage of Sondheim himself. This dynamic allows for the audience to get a sense of how Sondheim could captivate a room.
And there's a lot of obscure ones that you, like from his very first show that he ever wrote ever, that's not even a published show. So there's like a lot to fall in love with, and it's hard to choose, for me at least, it's hard to choose between them.
Mm-hmm. And in a lot of cases, it's falling in love again.
For many students, it is their final production before graduating. You can catch this musical now until April 23rd at the MacEwan University Theatre Lab. Visit Tixon Square to purchase tickets. The Citadel Theatre has a new show in town from now until April 12th.
Oh! Gut Instinct, you mean?
Tom Stoppard's Arcadia is a play concerning the relationship between past and present, order and disorder, and certainty and uncertainty. The first part is set in 1809, the second part brings you back to the present, and eventually the two concepts come together. Thomasina from 1809 is way ahead of her time.
She's very, very intelligent and really sees the world in a new way. She's way ahead of her time, and I've gotten a lot out of playing her. It's really exciting playing a character who's always thinking and always analyzing what's around them. It just keeps you really engaged, and it's exciting to work on.
Lady Croom is the mother of Thomasina, who wants nothing but the best for her daughter.
People who love the theater will, I think, love it because it is a great play, and people who are from other backgrounds, be it people who have studied Latin or thermodynamics or math or gardens, that they will also feel that it's speaking to them on a level that a play has not spoken to them before.
Arcadia will leave you wondering about the many wonders of the world, opening your eyes to things that haven't changed. If you want tickets to this event, go to ticksonthesquare.ca for more information. A dream play shows Indra, a goddess who comes down to earth in the form of a beautiful woman to find out why humanity is so discontent.
The cave is shaped like a shell, and an ear is shaped like a shell. You know how you can listen to a shell and hear the sound of your own blood and the thoughts in your brain?
A dream play was chosen as the final production for 10 U of A students because of the interpretive possibilities it brings. The cave scene shows Agnes speaking with her poet father after she has left her oppressive marriage and on her way back to heavenly spheres.
Hear us in forests, in winter, in the snow, at sea. Hear us in the ship's rigging.
You can catch this play now until April 4th at the Timms Center for the Arts. In this week's viral video, this cute little lady was out for a normal shopping trip, but I don't think she expected this. Watch as this man convinces the lady she has something in her hair.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you had him in your hair.
I didn't even feel him.
Well, that's weird. He's just sitting up there.
I don't think she really expected him to do that.
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The total look of confusion on her face says it all. Well, that's been your look at entertainment. Thank you for watching and have yourselves a great night.
Now, I know I'll be unplugging for Earth Hour. I mean, it's a good time to just sit around with candlelight, connect with family. Are you going to be doing the same?
Yeah, I'll probably maybe take my book off the shelf instead of playing like Call of Duty or something. Maybe read. I never do it enough, so candlelight reading is always a good thing.
It is. It's actually really nice to sit in the silence and just soak up a good book. That concludes our program tonight. I hope you have a great weekend. If you would like to see more of us, head to naitnewswatch.ca. I hope you have a great weekend.
Good night.
Good night.